what is EverQuest Next?
EverQuest Next is our version of the next kind of game that we wanted to make, right? We didn't want to just make another copy of the games we've made in the past. We didn't want to make EverQuest 3. We made EverQuest 1 and 2 for those groups of people. We wanted to come up with something that was completely different and new to the genre and to the industry, and I think we've really done that with the ideas we've put behind EverQuest Next.
So when you're coming up with the next thing for EverQuest, for MMOs in general, where do you begin? Where do you begin that thought process?
Well, we started back at the beginning, right? EverQuest was popular and successful because they took some ideas that existed in the industry and put them together in a form that was different than anybody had seen before. And that's really what we did. We tore everything down and started over from scratch for EverQuest Next, and we tried to pull together things that we thought would make a new shape of a game. You know, not trying to just make an evolution, you know, but really a revolution, a new kind of game.
So what is EverQuest Next Landmark, and how does that tie into EverQuest Next?
So Landmark is really the gateway to EverQuest Next. What we've done is we've created some really interesting and fun to use tools to create this new world we're creating for EverQuest Next, and we wanted to use them as an opportunity to work with our community and our players in a way that we've never been able to do before. With these tools, we can actually collaborate with players, and they can help us, if they want to, create a much better and bigger world than we'd be able to do by ourselves with just the professional development team.
So that strikes me as somewhat frightening. How do you guys, what makes you guys so brave to work with players, whereas everyone else kind of wants to have their secret garden that they're working on their own and not let people in to contribute?
Well, I think a good example is a lot of the indie games that have come out over the last few years. The way they've developed their games have been with their communities. They've told them everything up front, and I do believe that those games have been better because of it. So we're really learning from what's going on in the industry. You know, we've always prided ourselves on dealing and working with our communities on our live games, and with this game we're really taking it to the next step, and we're involving our community before the game is out there. Gone are the days of sort of hoping you know what players want or thinking that we must know what's right because we're the developers, and now we really want to engage them in a way that can impact a game before it launches.
So what do you think it is about the MMO genre in particular that seems to create a bit of a, dare I say, stagnant atmosphere? Like, people that don't seem to innovate very often. What's the deal with this genre?
Well, I mean, I don't know that it's been stagnant, right? People have been evolving and polishing the game that we first created with EverQuest. I mean, there were other games that came before it that were definitely precursors to us. And they've been polishing those games, making something that is a good and great game. But what we found now is that the level of polish that can actually be achieved by continuing it isn't enough to make it feel new, right? So we really needed to go back and find a new kind of game. You know, I've played a ton of MMOs and I absolutely love them. And I would never say that market is stagnating. We just want to do something different.
Would you say that your game is for fans of MMOs or people who've never played them before?
Both. I mean, we're really trying to find something that will appeal to a huge variety of players. You know, you can tell when we're talking about wanting to make sure that exploration is interesting. We're looking at different areas so that different kinds of players will actually enjoy this game. I don't think everybody will enjoy this game. I think it's impossible to make that kind of game, but we're definitely aiming for as many as we can, and many different kinds of players.